Anthony James Speak. Custody record from Barton Street.
Okay, bye. Right,
Headley.
Healy.
Incident room? Yeah.
Cameroon.
Thanks for getting back, Mr. George. Nice. DS Craig here.
Witness statements.
Speaks here.
You'll be pleased to hear we've just taken delivery of our prime suspect.
Where was he?
Picked up by Barton Street, sir. There was a fight in a pub and he took a swing at one of their PCs on his way out. He was waiting to go to court this morning.
Till Echo later realised we were looking for him.
Sir, not only that, he had a knife on him. It was in his pocket, sir.
Jack.
Sir, this is DC Woods.
Blimey.
Governor?
Long time, Alan.
I didn't know you two knew each other.
Before I was made up to superintendent.
Mr. Corby was my DCI at Whitton Street, sir.
Well, it'd be like old times.
Yeah, it's the same old faces. Oh, DS McKittrick.
Sir.
Can you find a phone? Tell him I'll be over in, 45 minutes.
Sure.
Stafford Road pulled someone for that security guard.
The shooting?
Yeah, not before time. So, in words of one syllable, how far have we got with this?
So you were standing by the man, Michael. How far away from him were you?
From me to you.
And it was only when he fell over you realised he'd been stabbed?
Yeah. Well, someone shouted about the knife. There's a knife. Then the bloke fell over.
If you were stood next to him, how come you never heard any kind of argument?
Well, music was too loud. I was looking the other way. The bloke just fell over.
What about the murder weapon?
There was nothing at the scene, Gov.
And the bloke died.
4 o'clock yesterday morning.
So the actual stabbing was...
10 o'clock Sunday night.
And when Speak was picked up last night, he was in possession of a knife.
Yes, sir.
Who was the victim?
James Wilson, 28, married, 1 kid.
Goes out for a drink, gets knifed in the chest.
Dear night out. We got a club full of witnesses.
Gov, we're still conducting interviews, but nobody said anything conclusive apart from mentioning Speak.
It's early days, Alan. Good.
So it's all yours, sir.
I'd like you to stick with it a bit longer.
Sir?
Now, I'm going to be up to here interviewing the suspects on this shooting. I could do with a safe pair of hands on this one till that's sorted.
Sir?
Thanks. You better show me face.
Oi! Where is he? Oi! Well, your brief's on his way.
Are you sure you don't remember seeing Tony Speak when the bloke was stabbed, Michael? He wasn't standing anywhere near the bar.
No, like I told you.
Are you sure he wasn't by the bar?
No way.
And you would know him if you saw him, wouldn't you?
Do me a favour. Everyone knows him, don't they?
We've got a 4-day-old murder. It's already going cold. Now, we want to find this person quickly.
Right. The bloke we've got in custody at the moment, Anthony Speak. Assault, aggravated burglary, malicious wounding. Eyes down for a full house. He was arrested last night for causing a small disturbance in a pub. Barton Street have given him to us. Now, because of his previous, at the moment, he's a possible suspect.
Speak is a regular member at the club. According to the staff, he was at the bar standing near Wilson when the argument broke out. Nobody actually saw him stab Wilson, but 3 people definitely saw him there.
And he wasn't in the club when night duty arrived.
When he was picked up last night, he was carrying a knife.
Well, draw your own conclusions.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, sir, but this is Tony Speak.
Yeah, point taken. Yeah, but although the night duty took the names and addresses of everybody in that club and nobody left after they arrived, several people left immediately after the stabbing, not just Tony Speak. So we have to chase them all up. Just because he left doesn't mean to say that he did it.
Tony Speak's a hard man. He's a nutter. We all know that. We want to charge him with it. We've got to get plenty of evidence, Ted. I want good, hard graft. Okay?
Oh, sorry, PC Quinn and Sun Hill Police.
About Sunday night?
Yeah.
I didn't see nothing, all right.
Her friend said she saw it, but she said she was being sick in the loos.
The manager reckons Tony Speak was definitely standing at the bar when Wilson was stabbed, Sarge.
Right, what about Michael White?
He was at the bar as well. He gave his name and address to night duty and then left. Now, I spoke to him this morning. He reckons he didn't see anything.
PNC says he's got previous theft and wounding.
So why'd you leave the club, Tony?
When?
When the police car arrived.
No comment.
When you were searched last night at Barton Street, you were carrying a knife. Why were you carrying a knife, Tony?
Well, what do you think?
For protection?
You've been out there lately. And don't tell me I'm the only one. I've got a reputation. People like to have a go.
Did you have a knife with you at the club on Sunday night? No. Why not? If you need it for protection.
Did you see anyone approach Mr. Wilson?
No. First I saw someone shouting he's been stabbed. He's lying on the floor. Look, if this is all you brought me in here for, you're wasting your time.
The man died of his injuries yesterday morning, Tony.
Sorry to hear it.
He had a wife and small child.
Yeah? So have I.
Look, Mr. Speak's only here under suspicion.
We've got to talk to you about a serious matter, he said. You get me in here and suddenly I'm in the frame for murder. You're joking, aren't you? I've got nothing more to say.
Alloway Court, Jim.
I'm there now, Dave.
Hello, Michael. Can I come in?
Well, according to the lab, there are some small traces up underneath the handle of Speak's knife. Blood type O.
Well, it's same as the majority of people in the countries.
So there was blood on the knife.
Yeah, could have got there in the last few days.
Could be Speak's.
If it was as far up as under the handle, I mean, how much blood are we talking here?
Hard for them to tell, but as you say, if it was all the way up the blade.
Yeah, but it could still be Speak's. But I'll talk to Brownlow. You get on to Speak's brief. Tell me you want a blood sample.
Sure.
How did the blood get there?
Knife slipped. I nearly cut my hand off.
You want to get that seen to?
Whether he's willing or not isn't the issue. I'm extremely concerned at the way he's being dealt with.
Look, there's a plenty of reasons.
Look, the answer is no.
No chance of a blood test, Gov. The brief says we're placing him under undue pressure.
Right, forget the brief. We'll search the flats. I'll get a couple of bodies to help you out. Anything you can get a sample of.
Right, sir.
Sir, from St. Hugh's, dead man's blood group.
Thanks, Ted. What group are?
Same as on Speak's knife.
Well, until we know what Speak's blood group is, this is no use at all.
We'll try to make it as brief as possible, Mrs. Speak. Try the bedroom. Oh, terrific.
White's still saying Speak was nowhere near the bar when the bloke was stabbed, sir.
So I'll Speak out of the picture.
There's circumstantial evidence.
Is there? He's out for a drink. We've got a crowded nightclub. There's a lot of people standing next to Wilson when he was stabbed. Nobody saw the knife go in. The only witness we've got who's certain about what he saw, Michael White, says that Speak didn't do it.
The thing is, sir, when you talk to him, White's not all that certain.
Go on.
Well, he's not convincing. I mean, what if he's lying? What if White saw Speak do the stabbing, then Speak threatened him?
So what you're saying is just because Michael White's not saying what we want him to say, he's being got at?
No.
Well, you want to be careful with that.
Speak's a nutter, sir. The man carries a knife.
Look, I don't like him any more than you do, but being a nutter in a nightclub isn't exactly a crime.
Are you saying that we should drop him from the inquiry?
No, what I'm saying is that just because we all want him convicted doesn't mean to say that he did it.
How are we doing?
Speak's still here, sir, but the DCI's saying you might not be involved.
Oh, you must be joking. Right.
We're beginning to get a clear picture of who was standing next to the man when he was stabbed, sir. And this is a new name, Michael White. He's got a previous for wounding.
So let's get him in there.
Well, Carver's already talked to him.
Yeah, I want him brought in and interviewed here, not at his flat.
Well, what about Speak?
Speak sweats for a bit. We'll interview Carver's witness. See if he can tell us he saw Speak put the knife in.
Well, White reckons that Speak couldn't have done it.
Of course he does. Speak's a nutter. Would you give evidence against him?
So you're assuming it's Speak?
We've got the weapon. He won't give a blood sample. What more do you want?
Well, to be honest, sir...
The thing about honesty is it gets you nowhere, Jack. Does it? Come in.
Sorry, sir. Speak shut, Gov. We found it in his flat. Do you recognise the shirt, Tony? It was taken from your flat about an hour ago.
It's mine.
This is a white gent's shirt, frayed at the collar, traces of blood down the left-hand side.
Can you tell me how it came to have blood on it?
Must have cut myself.
There's quite a lot of blood there.
You're telling us you cut yourself, what? Shaving or what?
Yeah, it must have been shaving yesterday.
Right, you've identified the shirt as yours and you've told us you've cut yourself shaving. The knife which you normally carry with you, we've identified traces of blood under the handle. How'd that get there?
Cut myself.
You cut yourself again.
Messing with a blade.
Can you show me?
Yeah. Doing it all the time.
I haven't done anything. Come on, in you get. Mind your end. It was dark, and they were pushing and shoving.
Who?
The people stood at the bar when the bloke was stabbed.
Well, think about just before that. Where were you? Just before the man was stabbed.
Stood at the bar.
And were you facing towards the man or away from him?
I was looking the other way.
So, there was some pushing and shoving. What, behind you?
Yeah.
Then what?
I turned round, and the man had fallen over. He was on the floor with the blood on him.
The officer that saw you this morning said you told him you were standing next to the man who was stabbed. You telling me the truth, Michael? You didn't have this knife with you, did you?
It's for work.
That's not what we're asking.
Why would I have it with me?
Perhaps that's what you should tell me.
I didn't have it.
If you're lying, you know you're going to get into a lot of trouble, don't you?
Yeah.
And what you're telling us now is the truth, is it? You didn't have this knife with you? You didn't argue with someone and then stab them with it?
I didn't stab anyone with it.
Gov.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Gov.
What did you do after you saw the man fall over?
I waited with everyone. Then your lot came and asked if we'd seen anything. Then I went home.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question. Then we're going to stop the tape so you can have a little think. Now, there's another man we're seeing about this. A man called Anthony Speak.
Tony Speak?
Oh, you know him, don't you? Oh, you'd recognise him to look at.
Yeah.
Was he there? Was Tony Speak at the bar when the man was stabbed?
I didn't see him.
Was he there? Was Tony Speak at the bar when the man was stabbed?
He might have been there. I just didn't see him.
You'll be held for further interviews concerning the murder of James Wilson. Do you understand, Mr. White?
Yeah.
Can I have a word, Gov? I don't think White's a reliable witness.
He was there, that's good enough, isn't it?
Gov, I don't think he's got the intelligence for this. To be honest with you...
don't you start.
Look, I think he'd tell us anything.
Like that he saw Speak knife this bloke, for instance, which might well be what happened.
Well, so we're just using White as a witness. We don't actually believe he's done it.
I don't know what to believe, Alan. That's why we're interviewing every available witness.
Well, that's not the point, is it, Gov? I mean, he's extremely suggestible. He's under pressure because he knows he's under suspicion. And under those circumstances, he's liable to tell us anything he thinks is going to get him off the hook.
You're not telling me how to run this.
Oh, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah, well, you save the bleeding heart stuff for your governor, all right?
Look, I'm just saying...
I know what you're saying. Don't tell me how to run this. You do your job, I'll do mine. That way we'll all get a result, all right?
I thought he was a friend of yours.
He was.
So you're saying you don't think White's up to it?
I'm saying that he's either the star witness or the prime suspect, depending which way you look at it. But I'm worried that we're getting the two confused, and we're using that uncertainty to get information from him.
Well, I get him to make a statement saying he saw Speak stab somebody.
Yes, sir.
Of course, you know Speak probably did it.
We can't prove it.
No, I know he can't, but he still probably did it. He's a villain. There's a lot of stuff he's got away with.
I've heard it all before.
That's because it's the truth.
It doesn't justify putting him inside on manufactured evidence, if that's what you're trying to say.
That's a serious allegation, Alan. So what do you do for an encore?
Look, this isn't directed at you, sir.
I should hope not.
Superintendent Corby's got hold of a witness of below-average intelligence who's got a spent conviction for wounding. Now, suddenly, that witness finds himself in the frame for murder. White's telling us what he thinks we want to hear because he's scared we're going to charge him.
And Corby's just letting him get on with it?
No. Corby's encouraging him. He's deliberately pressurising White to put Speak in the frame, sir.
So I'll leave you with me.
Are you going to do something about it, sir?
No, I didn't say that. There's no point in making waves, Alan. You don't get thanked for it.
White's not telling the truth here, sir.
So he's not telling the truth. Good for him! If I'd have done the same, I wouldn't be standing here now. Look, there's no point in sticking your neck out. There's hundreds of coppers like Corby, and he's not the worst. It's Corby's investigation. If you don't like what's happening, turn the other way.
You want to sit this one out, Steve?
Sir.
Is this all we've got on him?
Michael White, theft and wounding.
1977. He was still a juvenile.
Jack, you got a minute?
Thanks.
I don't think you've been telling us the truth, have you? I don't think we've got the whole truth here, have we? Have we?
No. I've been meaning to tell you this before. I've had time to think in the cell. I wasn't telling the truth before.
About what?
About what I saw. I want to tell you the truth now.
Are you saying you saw something now?
Go on.
It was... I want to tell you I saw who did it. It wasn't me. It was somebody else who did the stabbing.
Why tell us this now, Mr. White? Why not tell us earlier today?
I was scared of what he'd do to me if I told you. It was Tony Speak. I saw him knife the bloke.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Interview suspended by DC Woods at 14:70. He's lying, sir. Either because he's involved or because he's scared, but he's making it up.
That's what you think, is it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you want to know what I think? I think he might be telling us what he saw.
So, is Michael White a suspect or a witness?
A suspect. But according to Woods, much of the questioning that he's been subjected to has been directed towards getting him to say something.
As a witness?
Yes, sir.
But if he's a suspect and he did it, he's hardly liable to tell us, is he?
Making him a lousy witness, and that's the point. I know it's not my place, sir, but, well, we haven't interviewed everybody on Carver's list yet. What we've got so far is that Speak and a few of his friends were definitely there, and Speak left shortly before the cavalry arrived. We've got a man with a weak personality who's been held on suspicion of murder, and we're asking him if he saw Speak do it.
It's a fit-up.
Well, it could be that Detective Superintendent Corby's overstretched from the security guard killing.
Oh, thanks for letting me know. Oh, Jack, there was one other thing. Corby's complained to me about the way you handled the early part of the investigation. I just wanted you to know that I consider his remarks personally motivated and without any basis in fact.
Sir, I bet you he's got witnesses.
You seen the boss?
Through there.
As you've been charged with murder, you will remain in custody in this station until you are taken to court. You will not be allowed bail.
White tells us what he saw, then we'll know it wasn't him, won't we?
Guilty until proved innocent, yeah?
You know, for a copper, Alan, you'd make a good Boy Scout.
I want to know what's going on.
Just between these four walls, you should know what's going on. If we played it by the book, we'd never get a conviction.
Oh, so you're manipulating the witness, yeah?
It's all part of the game.
Where does that leave me?
You started the ball rolling.
Making me a part of the game as well.
Well, does it? I've used a witness from the list drawn up by DC Carver to build a case against a violent maniac who should have been put away years ago. If you've got a problem...
You've used me to get a statement from a vulnerable witness.
What do you think you're paid for, to get the job to trial?
And if Speake's found guilty on dodgy evidence, that's okay, is it?
That's up to the jury.
He'll appeal.
Don't they all?
Then there'll be an inquiry!
And you'll do my legs, is that it? Well, come on. Speake walks free and I take his place. Is that it? Do you think we'd all be better off that way? Well, thanks for the warning, Helen. Only get plenty of evidence, because I won't go down any easier than he will.
Just thought I'd come and see who stuck whose head down the toilet.
He's fitting to speak up just so as he can get a job to court.
It's all up to the jury.
That's what he said.
Makes you proud to be British.
Right, let's go.
My round. I got busted down for less than this. And I didn't even do anything.
You got a problem, Jay?
No, I haven't got a problem. But you will have. When MS-15 found out about this. If you want to play God, you go somewhere else. I don't care who you are, what you are, or how good your motives are. If you involve me or any of my men in an investigation that's going bent...
Sorry?
Somebody coaxed White through that statement, didn't they, Steve? I've listened to the tape. You involved Alan Woods in taking that statement. You want to play judge and jury? Lock a few people up, eh? Is that it? City's full of them. Stabbings, murders. It's all out there waiting for someone like you to come along. But don't you ever try to get in my nick, and don't you think you're using that tape as evidence?
Just leave it and go.
Good, because we've got some work to do. You know, Alan.
Sir?
Friends like that.
It's all right, Gov. I never liked him anyway.